This is Stella Stoker from Knights of Camelot, and you're watching the ARROYO show. That is very true. I think a lot of actors say, yeah, I can ride, and on the day I'm just going to wing it. But on a horse, you can't wing it. You have to know what you're doing. And yeah, I love that. That was brilliant.
Arthur and Merlin, Knights of Camelot, officially going to be seen by the world July the 13th. Did you enjoy spending time on set for a period piece such as this? Because there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, I love period pieces. It's probably my favorite category. And to get to do something so iconic, was really special. And we shot on location in a real castle, in Caerphilly Castle in Wales. And we had a really good group. We all came together and just, made it work, because it's an independent film. So, it's a very close-knit thing, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, I was speaking with another one of your cast members, and they had told me that there was a day where it was just pouring down rain, and you guys were just there huddled up, but everybody was enjoying each other's company. Do you remember a day like that?
Yes. I mean, I was quite lucky because I was always mostly in the castle, but definitely, I mean, it rained pretty much every single day, and once our cottage was flooded a little, it bonds you. So yeah, I do remember these things.
Yeah, this is kind of like the epitome of what you think of when you're a child wanting to be an actor, is that you can go into these different worlds and just live in it for a little bit. So that's really cool that you got to do that. When you were preparing for the role of Guinevere, how did you find the process of portraying that character?
Well, she's been portrayed many times on stage, on screen, and so I basically went to the basics and read about her, whatever I could find about her. I tried not to watch anything because you want to stay away from imitating someone you really admire doing it. And then you bring your own thing into it. It's you basically, then it goes down to the script. Where is she in the script? And she's a hostage, and how does she deal with that situation of being a hostage, but trying to not lose hope and herself? So yeah, that's what I then worked with.
That's very exciting. Arthur and Merlin, Knights of Camelot, coming out on July the 13th. We're online right now with Stella Stoker. Stella, where did the journey begin to get you into acting? When you were young, did you always know you wanted to be an actor?
No, not at all. I wanted to be a doctor like my father. I wanted to be a journalist because I love history and politics. And then, but I have four siblings, 2 older ones and 2 young ones, 2 older sisters, a younger sister and a younger brother. So when you're in a big family and you're in the middle, you always have to do something to get the attention. And so I always really enjoyed just putting on little plays or just acting with my siblings. And it was never really an idea to do this professionally, and not until I was 18 and my mum wrote a musical, which I did with a church youth group. And then I was like, oh, I'm enjoying this. I like being on stage. Where can I go from here? And then I applied for drama school in England.
And you've been acting for quite the while now. I mean, there's not a lot of people that can say that they've been working as long as you have within the acting industry, on screen since 2004. What is this first role? What is the first role that you can really remember diving into and developing as a character?
Right, so that was in New York, and it was a short film, and it was called The Truce, and it was about you might know this, about the 2 troops fighting each other and then paused and had a football match. So that was that during the First or the Second World War? I can't remember which one it was. And so I played a nurse who takes care of one of the prisoners. So that was amazing because we had the costumes, and for the first time I could really, everything I'd learned I could put into practice. And that's also, New York is incredible, and I had an incredible crew there because they were all really well trained. And yeah, so that was something I remember really vividly as a first proper acting experience.
Arthur and Merlin coming out July the 13th. On a production like this one, where there's horses, you're shooting on location, when the world around you is created to that kind of a level, does it raise the excitement of coming to set each day?
Yes, massively. I mean, the day I knew I was going to ride the horse was really exciting because I love horse riding. And the fight day, when I was going to fight one of the other actresses, and every day was amazing because you go on set and there's something exciting to do for sure. Yeah.
Do you have to go through extra training when you're going into a scene like that? Because to ride a horse, that's not something that the typical actor does on a normal day on set.
Well, I had to tell them that basically they asked, can you ride? Can you ride well? And I said, yes and yes. And so
there's a distinction there between can you ride and can you ride well, you know?
That is very true. And I think a lot of actors say, yeah, I can ride. And, on the day, I'm just going to wing it. But on a horse, you can't wing it. You have to know what you're doing. And yeah, I love that. That was brilliant. And yeah, on the fight day, we had a fight coordinator, and he showed me exactly what to do to stay safe, but to make it look real. And then you have the camera, the angle is going to make it look real, even if you don't touch the other person. So it's quite technical, but really exciting.
In a competitive field like acting, I always like to ask, what is it that inspires you to continue growing in your craft? Because it's one of those rare fields where you constantly can be learning and improving yourself, even, no matter how long you've been acting.
Mm-hmm. I love the unpredictability of it. I love that I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to get cast for next or what I get to audition for. And that's what keeps me going. It's that excitement of not knowing what I can explore next. Yeah, that's very much it.
That's very exciting. As we begin to wind down a little bit here, we got 5 questions left for you. We call them the final 5. First one, who was the first actor whose work you remember appreciating on like a professional level?
Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet in Sense and Sensibility, as well as Alan Rickman, who's also in Sense and Sensibility. And that was a massive influence on me. I adored it. And Denzel Washington, starting in Much Ado About Nothing. That was the first part I saw him in. And he's been an inspiration ever since. So, yeah.
What scene did you enjoy that you would want to do again that you'd done previously?
In Arthur and Merlin or generally?
In general, yeah.
Generally. I love working with Bill Condon on The Good Liar. So anything I did there, I would love to do again because it was really, really exciting.
When did you know that this was something that you wanted to always be pursuing, your acting career? When did you know?
Probably with the first short film, The Truce. That's when I thought, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Where was your favorite location to shoot?
It would have to be Caerphilly Castle because that was just so, yeah, iconic. Definitely Caerphilly.
That's pretty amazing. When you're on a set like that, do you just get blown away by the grandiose scale of everything I mean, it's a castle.
Yeah. Yes, you do. Especially it's a 13th century one. So half derelict, half still in good standing. I would say, yes, it's that. I mean, it does, after a while, when it's cold and wet, it sort of wears off a little, but yes, still that. It's exciting.
And then our final question of the final 5, how do you define success?
I define success living in the moment, making the most of what you have there, and always keeping going, but sort of working with what you've got and pushing to the limit there. That's success to me.
Arthur and Merlin, Knights of Camelot, going to be coming your way July the 13th. Stella, before we let you go, one last word on Arthur and Merlin. What can we expect when we go check out the movie?
Swords, fighting, love, and excitement.
And we can't wait to check it out. Stella, thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time with us today.